Hi, it's Kim. And as we all know, I'm obsessed with journals. And a lot of you know that I'm obsessed with junk journals. I find them very helpful in trying to get stuff out that I can't, like on a normal journal. If something's super emotional, or if I need to have bits and pieces, or there's just too large of a concept, I use junk journals. I'm going to show you a few of the really fancy ones that I've bought first. And I'll have pictures, of course, as well, but it can be as elaborate as like making these with fabric and actually sewing them. Mad props to the people that I buy from. I do buy on Etsy, and I also my mother finds them on Goodwill, so like they're everywhere. And of course you can make your own. You can see it, it just has all these little different tabs, little stuff, little envelopes, and you can stick in little bits. Um, yeah, like I've been working on a long time, as you heard me extracted from my collection. This one I've been using for Flick the Fairy when I just need just a little bit of creativity and stuff. So like it has little envelopes and like pull out. I don't know if I wrote on this one or not. We'll find out, won't we? It probably doesn't look like it yet. But it has little papers, little envelopes, and it makes it, I don't know, it makes it fun, which is what I feel like writing should always be, no matter if you're writing something serious or not. You personally should be enjoying yourself. Makes for much better writing. Um, so I did show you those. I'm going to show you like a different way, and I'll have more pictures, of course. Like little bits of paper though. Like this one is a doctor's patient statement. I don't know, it's from here. I don't need it right now. So like the back, of course, white paper, right? That's all you need. And then also fun note, coffee filters. There are like several types. The ones that are I guess they're sort of cone shaped are a little easier, they bleed less. These work too. You would just staple these. I don't have a stapler in here, so I'm not going to do that. You can see that I use, I don't know, probably in my classes and different things, if you're in them, you see me use these little notes. They're perfect for just jotting down ideas, concepts, and of course, like if I'm listening to a poem, I can write down lines a lot easier, or anything of that nature. So then you like stick that on and write on it. And get pretty. You have cards that you're not using. That could go on. And like you can be a lot fancier than a staple, obviously. You can make it a real book, you can bind it. I'm not showing you binding a book. I've done it maybe 3 or 4 times, and I am very terrible with it all. I'll just leave it at that. I would die if I had to like defend myself with an awl. Anyway, even like junk journals necessarily, if you have just like regular journal. I'm gonna use my Batman journal. I'm doing a Batman project next. So basically then you just have this fancy dancy plain old notebook, or I did buy this and they fancy up just a plain notebook. I've made a few myself. They're not necessarily considered junk journals, but let's say you have your nice little pretty card. I did this long before I knew anything about what a junk journal was. I have a little bit stick in, and like after a while it expands, and I consider it a junk journal. And I was doing that before I ever knew that there's places that you could put little pockets and stuff. I don't know if you'd write on receipts when you have a really interesting idea that can go into a journal, slide it right into an envelope. And it works really well, and it keeps all those little ideas or large ideas together, and it breaks up large projects in a way that I cannot describe as helping. Flick the Fairy, for example, is going to be an entire book. So each of those little pages have just a splurge of what is going on. And it started with a very small story, which is in Calliope, just so you know. And then it became a larger story, another, I think like 7,500 words. And it's going to be in an anthology. And then as you grow and get published and such, it becomes a collection. And like I have new characters that are being added, and like so there's character sketches in there as well, like who is Aspen. He's the Flick is the fairy godmother that works with the moon. Aspen is the one that is the sun, and he didn't exist until I started, doodling it out and trying to figure out in this very little space, who else can be in the stories, right? So just easy peasy. And of course, I'll show you more in the links, and I'll probably try to find a link actually, and I'm going to show you little bits of what I've done, and probably photos also of the junk journals that I own. I'm a little scared to put them all in one place. Okay, so just saying, I'm probably not going to do it like that. I thought about putting it, and then I decided I don't really want that. All right. One last thing, if you're making it, this was made out of, I haven't used it yet. It's also for my next project with the Batman. This one is a true junk journal of Batman, and the gentleman who, I think it was the gentleman who did it, had, I guess it's upside down, had bits from their game magazines, and they bound it, and they stuck in all their pictures from their games and their magazines and stuff that came in. Stickers, yeah. So like this will be really fun. So let's say I just need a character sketch, and I'm not going to give away how Batman is being used. But this is two-sided, so it's probably not going to work that well. But I could add something on it, like a little sticky, and I could write a character sketch of a poem or a short story or something of that nature. And it's fun. Like I keep emphasizing the word fun, because sometimes when we're dealing with very difficult emotions in our writing, we need to also maintain like this presence of fun. I don't know if anyone else writes about grief. I write about grief an awful lot. And I've had to use junk journals to do it. Specifically, there are several different journals that I use for my the death of my cousin from COVID, my grandmother, and it just somehow breaks it up. Like so like the grief is only on a small piece of paper, and somehow that makes the grief that I am emoting both stronger but less part of me. It gives me a little bit of distance, and that is always key. I'm having too much fun. I'm sorry. I have a lot of these. This is my junk journal Lover of Words. I had it commissioned. It started that it was going to be like some crazy, project. It wound up being the second part of my COVID journal. My first one is Harry Potter, and you'll probably wind up seeing it. I'm sure there'll be pictures of it. And I'm gonna, scan it in. I'm not giving it away because I'm too attached, and I'm like, well, maybe it can go in the library someday when I'm dead. But like you can see that these little bits, 9/8/2020, it makes it easier to write about, even if you're journaling personally. I don't always want to be like, oh, this is my day, blah, 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 right? So having just a little bit can have almost be like, well, today was a sad day, and this is what I did, one thing. It's just a little tag that you would put on a Christmas label, right? So there's not much room. And sometimes it's very helpful to say, I don't have that much to write. And if you go on to the next page, so be it. And that's good. So that probably is like the introduction to my office. Oh yeah. It's mostly junk journals, just saying. They have multiple purposes. You can use them as backgrounds first if you have different collages or stuff that you want to do. In another world, I do magnets and put them on, and so that they get two uses. And I must say that I get a lot from writing techniques by using these journals. I don't know if you've noticed my passion for them, but they do help write stories, and they certainly help write poems and everything else. And if you're stuck, or even if you have a hard time necessarily having attention, I know I certainly do. Oh my gosh, sometimes I'm off the wall, can't focus, and having just this little bit and going, this is what I'm going to write just in here. It keeps me from procrastinating, and it keeps me from freaking out that I'm not doing my stuff. And it really does help the creative process. So with that, like, very long, like, memo of writing with junk journals, I bid you farewell. I will be putting some stuff up, definitely some pictures. Yeah, Dalva and Janet totally like outdid me. So I was like, well, I guess I have to have a video. Yeah, yeah, that's what happened. So sorry about that. Okay, well, take care. Hope you're well, and make a junk journal. I'm telling you, they're killer.